Number deuce.
Deuce.
About 71% of people who die in motorcycle accidents are male.
Duh.
Well,
Yeah, that's how I felt. Duh. Because we all know that it's a male-dominated
80%
hobby,
of us
interest,
riding
whatever.
are dudes.
Yeah.
Does that
Of
mean the
course
other
it's gonna be more
29% just
male.
get kicked off the back?
Yeah. You jump on my motorcycle, Tony. I'm pushing you off.
Welcome back to the Five Dirty Bikers podcast.
Presented by Memphis Shades, the clear choice for custom windshields and fairings for your motorcycle. And Wild Ass Seats, stay in the saddle longer and in total comfort no matter your butt or budget.
Brutal.
it would look pretty funny, though, if I rode on the back of Brittany's bike.
That would be hilarious.
Be doing a wheelie.
My big ass just pushing the suspension all the way down.
Dude,
You
that
could probably
would
just
be
reach around her and
hilarious.
take over the bars.
There'll be no reach arounds.
You could. I'm sure that Not to mention that, like, the passenger pegs are up so much higher, too. So, we have to get a picture of that.
My
right?
knees
That'd
would be up really
with
hilarious.
the pegs again, Brittany. It's always with the pegs.
Yeah,
with
your
you.
knees would be, like, at your shoulders. You'd just
I
be
might
like,
be able to reach the bars in the back seat. Oh, I know
think
I
you
can.
could.
I can reach the bars in the back seat of my bike. Remember that when we were going in Kentucky in FDBM?
Yes, you were sitting on the
got a video
passenger.
of
I sat on the back.
yes.
Yeah, Dave has a
On the
video of that. I
pillion.
sat on the back seat of the pillion of my own bike, so I know I could reach them.
Let me tell you what. When you're drinking and driving, at least you're doing your best.
At least you're trying.
You're trying, man. You're giving it your all.
I guess.
All right? You're giving it your all. You're doing the best you possibly can.
Okay.
When you're riding
Except
looking at
for
the
the fact
phone,
that
you're not
you
even
chose
trying.
to
That's
go in
true.
the car in the first place.
What?
I said you're doing the best you can after making the poor decision of driving drunk.
Oh,
So-
we're not condoning
We're
driving.
not condoning
intoxicated.
drinking and driving. We're
But
just saying.
Tony's right because you're trying really,
But
really
once
hard to
you've
stay.
made
trying
that
really
decision,
hard.
you are trying.
So
You know
hold
what?
on
When
a
we were
second,
growing
though.
up, Brittany, we didn't have all these services that come pick you up.
That's right.
We had to get home
that's
one
a
way or
fair
the other.
point.
We didn't have
That's a fair
Uber
point.
and Lyft and all this
You
bullshit.
didn't have fucking taxis?
No,
Taxis
You couldn't afford them
existed.
if you did.
you couldn't
Either-
afford those. You had to
that's
figure
true.
out how to get home.
There wasn't no goddamn
Sometimes you
Uber.
worked the wheel, the other guy worked the pedals. I mean, you adapted
right.
and you overcame. You got home.
You got your buddy in the driving seat
Yeah.
watching those stripes while you're looking at that stripe, and you're both
Exactly.
yelling at each other too close.
And you know how hard it is? You know how hard it is for the girl next to you with the bag over her head to drive home?
All right. Number quattro. Roughly 35% of motorcycle drivers are driving a bike with more than 1,400 cc's compared to less than 10% just 20 years ago.
Yeah, because we're not bitches.
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh.
Well,
I can't
mean,
argue with that.
Does anyone
Yeah.
does anyone on this podcast have a motorcycle with less than 1,700 cc's?
You better
Was
not.
my Sportster?
What's the
1200?
103 guy?
No, we all
But
ride
I
at
own a, but I ride
107.
a Sport Glide. Yeah, they're all 107.
They're all 107. I mean, there's three of
Oh,
us
that's
with
right. It's a
107.
107. And
Those are
what's
1749.
Yeah.
Are they really?
Yeah, I looked it up earlier just for this.
So
Wow, there's not that much difference between a 107 and a 114, huh?
no.
No.
Well,
Nope.
It's pretty-
Did you see, Dave, that there's been a bunch of stuff put out now on the torque curves and horsepower curves? So if you take a stock 114 and you put a good exhaust system, a good air cleaner, and a good cam in it, you pull the same numbers as a crate 131.
I think I did hear about that.
as a
That sounds like a
131,
bullshit article.
No, dude. These are people that are showing their dynos, man. They're showing the dynos. There's actually a bunch of people that have. I brought it up, and there's a bunch of people that posted them right already in the Discord of the dyno comparisons, and it's right there. Proofs in the pudding.
So you're saying stage 2 It really would depend on what you're selecting as the
Yeah.
components for that stage 2.
That's what I said. I said a good pipe setup, a good air cleaner, and a good cam is getting you the same numbers as a crate 131.
On a 114.
What's that? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
There you go.
M8's
There's a
M8's
statistic we
killer.
don't have.
But
Well,
so-
1,400 cc's.
So 14. Okay, so it says 35% of motorcycle riders are driving a bike with more than 1,400 cc's. That's to me, that's lower than I would have anticipated, right? Because that's
Well, it's because that 35% are Harley riders. The rest of them are bitches.
Do you think doesn't Harley own a market share higher than 35%?
I guess
I
not.
would
Of all
think so,
motorcycle
but I don't
sales
know.
worldwide, I don't think so.
Really?
Are you sure?
Is this
about that, Dave?
worldwide? Well, you got to think, though, over in Europe, you have to have fucking special licenses,
Oh,
don't
you got to
you?
have 6 driver's license to even
Yeah,
get
you
to
got to
a
have like
1200.
6 licenses to be able to ride one
Plus,
of
I
those
mean,
things.
it's we're not just talking cruisers here, right? So you got all the dirt bikes, you got all the
Sure.
No,
Well, that's true. Yeah, when you
all the
throw those in.
125s out there and the 250s and
HD's
Is that
at
even-
20,
is that even-
21%.
Crazy though, because
If
when
you just
you
buzz
buy a
around on a
bike-
125, are you a motorcycle rider?
well,
If
I
you
don't
buy a
know.
bike with less
Right,
than
that's a
1,400
good
cc's,
question.
it comes with a box of Tampax.
I mean,
That
we're
is
just-
offensive,
We're losing all
Tony.
our female
It's not
audience
offensive.
right now, Tony.
It's not
Thank you.
offensive. It just means you grew a vagina if you bought a bike with less than 1,400 cc's.
that made your comment more offensive.
Brittany, he's talking about the 80% of us.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Please don't. Hey,
Oh, I just got off a 1,200 cc bike and I got ovaries.
Now it's you're just crossing a line there, Tony.
please do not me too me, Ryan, or Destin for Tony Cox's comments. Thank you.
This next one, though, I don't know.
We already talked about the next one, actually.
No,
Did
The
we?
next one's
No,
true,
we
yeah.
didn't.
Did we?
Well,
yeah.
we
No,
did
we
an
didn't.
episode a couple years ago about, was it
Riders per
motorcycles per
state.
capita?
Per capita, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So California, of course, is the biggest state.
Yep, for motorcycle
So
riders.
they're going to
Yep.
have it's more populated than any other state, and of course you're going to have a lot more motorcycle riders than any other state. It's just how it goes. Like they're going to kick the
But-
shit out of Rhode Island every time.
Well, I mean, I get California because it's so fucking big and the restrictions and the gas prices.
And you can ride all year long.
And yeah, all that makes sense. But down in Florida, let me tell you what, if I lived in Florida, I'd buy a boat. Fuck riding a motorcycle. It's crazy down there, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there 3 times. I think 2 or 3 times driving considerable distance, and the drivers there are horrible.
They're fucking awful. They're terrible.
Accidents every couple of miles.
Well, they're 20 years older than Dave, and that's saying something. So, I mean, when you start off there, then they probably can't even see the road they're driving on.
No,
let's
the
be
fucking
honest.
cars down there, they have 2 speeds, stopped and wide open.
That's how people drive in Lexington.
I mean, it's crazy.
We heard that Lexington is the hood of the of Kentucky, though. Brittany,
I'll
so.
tell you what.
Brittany lives on the wrong side of the tracks.
Wrong side of
Apparently.
Lexington.
Get your dog shit
You know
out
what?
my
I
yard.
still like it here.
What
I
side?
don't care.
What side of Man of War are you on?
Tony, Man of War is a circle.
I know. What side are you on? Damn it, go for it. She wasn't biting.
There's
I
no
was trying.
side when it's a circle.
Damn it.
Hey, Brittany, don't you have the neighbor whose dog shits in your yard all the time?
I don't, but someone does in my neighborhood.
Well, she's
See,
got 2.
He shares
She's
the
got
dog.
2 dogs.
My
You
dog
joined
shit in my
you
yard
joined
all
a
the time, if that counts.
Facebook group. I can't even say it.
I know
My
you're
mic's-
giving me crap, but you can't even talk.
Is this thing on?
Spit that hair out, dude.
Dude,
Slodged.
it's wrapped around your hangy ball back
You're
there.
probably
around your
triggering
hanging ball.
tons of people.
Somebody just spit their coffee all over the dashboard of their car. That's what just happened.
You're welcome.
So Brittany joined a Facebook face. I can't even say it.
Facebook
It doesn't even
group.
matter.
Took a
Fuck it
whole,
anymore. The joke is
couple
over.
seconds.
It's
Facebook.
over.
Group.
I thought you were going to say a facial group.
Yeah.
Light up and smile.
No, we're going to get me too'd.
I was talking about this, go to get a facial. I was talking about.
Oh yeah, sure.
Where
Tony.
were you going with it, Percy?
Hey,
you dirty
dude,
old bastard.
Since you mentioned Honda, remember last week we were talking about. I forgot what we were talking about, and I mentioned that you should take a look at the Honda 1100, the Rebel 1100.
Yeah.
I think we have one here for you to look at.
Honda
seen
Rebel.
one.
Okay, show
Yeah.
me. Show me this. Show me said bike. Show me said motorcycle.
Dustin has it. He's going.
Give me a second.
Oh God!
It looks pretty decent.
Now I'm not crazy
You
about
ever
the
seen
fairing.
Rosemary's Baby?
Not crazy about the fairing,
What in the God's name is this thing?
but
It
that's
looks like a fucking street glide that went wrong, or a sport glide that went wrong.
it's very similar to the Sport Glide in this configuration, right? And
It
Dustin, didn't you
is.
say this was a touring configuration of the?
Yeah, it's 1100T DCT, so it's automatic. It's the Rebel 1100 with bags and wind protection.
I
If you
call it
put-
1100 POS.
If you punch the Sport Glide right in the chin and it
That's
shot
what you
its
get.
head straight up, then you'd get, I'm just gonna be honest. This bike sucks balls.
I don't think it looks terrible, but I agree.
Why?
What's the trend here with these fucking exhausts? These
I was gonna say
Fucking
that exhaust is
leaf
twice the
blower
size
exhaust.
of the other
Yeah,
one.
I'm not a fan of the leaf blower
it's
exhaust.
No.
I mean that's the thing that people are putting on bikes
So-
these days.
Let
Right.
me ask you a question, Dustin, because I can't. It's hard for me to get that. I would need to see the bike directly from the side. Where are the foot pegs? Would they be straight down from your knees? Like, are they? Are your
they're
feet
mid
positioned?
rolls.
they're mids, dude.
So they're a little bit behind you then?
Well, can't you see? Just look down straight from the 1100.
Yeah, from the seat, they look like they're even. They look like your knees would be shooting forward then, right?
They are. I mean, I was scrunched up on it. It needs forwards.
Right.
But the bags, honestly, I think they're too small. They open up from the top, which is cool.
it's
But I
gotta
mean,
be
Tony
top
could take a
loading.
dump in that and fill one. You're not really putting
How much
much.
smaller are
Well,
they
it's
than
it's
the
not a touring
bikes?
bike, obviously, right? But I mean, I don't know. I just kind of like it for a small little around the area.
I mean,
think
it's quick, man. It's got some ass.
I think that you're like, if you were a younger rider and you wanted to start doing, say, like
Take that picture off. It's scarring me.
and you wanted to do like an overnight moto camping situation and start doing it and get into riding.
I wouldn't ride that motherfucker to Kroger.
Well, I wouldn't either. I mean,
For
I
a pack
wouldn't,
of gum.
I wouldn't ride it from one side of my garage to the other with the door closed.
You rode a fucking Grom, dude.
I never rode a Grom.
No,
I did.
Tony.
Oh,
I wore a Grom. I rode that bitch, but I didn't want people to see me on
yeah,
it.
you rode a Grom. I would wear a Grom.
Yeah.
I could put it in my backpack
You'd
and
wear
carry
a
it to work
Grom
with
like
me.
a thong, dude. If you got on a Grom.
Seriously, yeah. So, I think I definitely think I hate that bike personally. Right? I hate the bike,
What do you really think about it?
but I also think that there's a place for it in the market. I don't.
Yeah.
I hate the bike for me. I would never ride that bike or own that bike or want to do anything
If you
with
saw
it.
that bike out in the wild, you'd go, "Who's the pussy that's riding this thing?"
No,
I might actually.
Be honest.
I
that's
might
not-
actually
that's
urinate
not-
on it.
That's not true. I don't think you would. 'Cause I've
jeez.
seen the 1100 in real life, and it looks better than what's in that
Hey,
photo. But the reason I brought this up was because we
Yeah.
were talking about the Nightster
Yep.
last week, right? And the styling choices on the Nightster and other bikes of that ilk. And I mean, I think this is what we're seeing to hit that market segment.
I mean,
Well-
it does look like there's a lot of. It's similar.
It's similar. I'll give you that, except for, to me, this is just me, that Honda looks a little bit more like a naked street bike. The Nightster still
Yeah.
says V twin cruiser, right? So Honda with this 1100 moved more towards like a naked street bike and didn't go into their. I'm trying to think of what was the bike that they had? Not the Fury, but Honda had the one down from the Fury that didn't look like a chopper, but it was a really good mid-size cruiser, but it was still a V twin. That Honda had a few years ago. Not the Rebel, but it was a step up from the Rebel. Shit, I can't think of the name of it.
Can't remember the name of that.
Anyway, that was a little bit more in the cruiser segment. Reminded me a little bit more of a cruiser. This to me looks like a naked street bike. Yeah, see, it looks like a naked. You can see the exposed frame.
Absolutely does. What's the price?
Oh my
point?
God, that's awful. That back view is
Yeah,
awful.
yeah. This is a
the
little
back view
weird.
is not
There's
great.
a lot of plastic back there.
That is
Dustin,
awful.
do you know the price on that?
I don't
Too
off the top of
much?
my head. No, I think
Yeah.
I'm trying to guess here. I think it's around 14.
That's with all the-
14,000?
That's with all the
or
touring stuff?
$14. I'll buy that for $14.
1,400.
Which is
Yeah, I might even buy it for $1,400.